All right, Mr. Harrison, good morning. Morning, sir. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number, please.
My name is Leroy Harrison. My DOC number is 105565.
All right, Mr. Harrison. Let me acknowledge, I don't have a list of the folks who are there with you at Angola, so I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves.
How you doing? My name is Stuart Freeman. I'm a friend of Mr. Leroy Harrison.
Okay. And sir?
My name is Gerald Parker, and I'm here as a friend and a supporter of Leroy Harrison.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate you being here. We also have here in support on Zoom, we have Aisha Brown, Mr. Harrison's niece, Ms. Marilyn Boudreaux, cousin, and Barbara Chewing, his sister. So Mr. Freeman or Mr. Parker, one of you will be allowed to speak because we already have two other folks registered to speak. We'll call on you at the appropriate time to do so. Here in opposition, we have the victim's daughter, Ms. Victoria Charbois, who will also be speaking. First, Mr. Harrison, I'll read some identifying information into the record, ask you to confirm it, then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Freeman. Your case has been assigned to him. He'll take the lead on the interview. All right. So, Mr. Harrison, you're here today seeking a commutation of your sentence. You were sentenced in March 1984 in Vermilion Parish to a life sentence for an aggravated rape conviction. Mr. Harrison, is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, would you answer Mr. Freeman, please?
Okay, Mr. Harrison, how old are you?
60.
How long have you been incarcerated?
I came in Angola December the 10th, 1985.
Okay, so you're looking at what, 24, 47 years?
Excuse me?
47 years?
No, sir, not 47, right at 40 years from the time I was arrested.
Okay, yeah, 40 years, okay. And what's your educational level?
Well, I graduated the 9th grade, sir.
Have you gotten your GED?
I'm backlogged for GG class now.
Okay. We just started trying to get it. Okay, Mr. Harrison, tell me what happened. What happened that night, what you did, and walk me through the events.
Okay, December 3rd, 1982, I went to Miss Brandon's house and I got in through her window, bedroom window, and I saw Miss Brandon laying on her couch, and I woke her up and took her to her bedroom and forced her to have sex with me.
Okay, did you have a knife?
Yes, sir.
Were you wearing a mask?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know you went to trial on that charge. What about Miss Deborah Petrie?
I don't know anything about that case, Charles, but I knew they had.
About that case. Well, they were going to bring you to trial on it. Didn't they arrest you for it?
No, sir.
Well, they had arrested you for that one too, but they only tried you on Miss Brown. Anna. Okay, so you knew her, right? Y'all had seen her at a club and stuff. How well you knew her?
I've known her all my life since I was a kid. Her family, my family was close friends.
Y'all friends, yet you still did rape her.
Yes, sir.
Have there been any other rapes in your life? We got a officer that testified that you were thought of to commit several others.
No, sir. I never committed any other crime but that one.
Any other crime but that? Okay. The victim is deceased. You have all law enforcement opposition, DHE, Your sister Barbara is unopposed. Her daughter is opposed. And they have some statements that she'll testify later. What classes have you taken?
I've taken 100-hour substance abuse, anger management, victim awareness, thinking for a change, Malachi Dad, and risk management.
Okay, so have you taken sex offender treatment?
Yes, sir. Risk management.
Okay, you've taken all 4 phases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where would you go if you were to get out from the governor later?
Well, I have a home in my hometown, the home I grew up in.
It said you're a low risk, that you're minimum custody, good institutional record. You have 49 write-ups. The last was in 2016 for a 30W. What class did you learn the most out of?
Victim awareness.
And what did that teach you?
It taught me the impact of my crime, that I was wrong. I hurt Miss Brandon. I hurt her family. And it broke family ties. Our family was close at one time until I committed that crime. And it haunted me all my life. Excuse me. Excuse me.
I have no further questions.
Warden Falvey, is there any input from the facility?
He has been a Class B trustee since 2006, which would be the highest at the time that he could attain because of the nature of his crime. He worked several years for us in the Carpenter crew at Maine Prison. He's currently housed at Camp F as a dorm orderly. Has been there since June of 2018 to present.
Thank you.
He's spoken and he's been questioned on the classes and the programming. And that's about it, man.
Thank you much. I don't see any other questions by my colleagues. Could we hear from Ms. Marilyn Boudreaux, please? Go ahead, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good afternoon. My name is Marilyn Boudreaux. I'm Leroy's cousin, first cousin. And I knew he had made mistakes in his life, being young, and that was a bad mistake. But I think he served enough time and that he should be free to come out and live his life, because I mean, he have family who do love him.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you. We appreciate you taking the time to share your remarks with us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hear from Ms. Barbara Chewing?
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Leroy Harrison's sister. I'm sorry, but I just want y'all to know that we really do love our brother, and we've been behind him every step of the way, even though he made wrongdoings. It broke up our family tie. We was close knit family, the Brandons and the Harrisons. We was in and out each other's house. My parents and their parents were straight across the board friends, and all this just shattered our family together. And I'm so sorry what happened to Cheryl, because Cheryl was our friend. All the sisters and brothers, we was all tight. But I feel like he didn't pay the debt to society. and let him make a change. Everybody needs a second chance because people do change. And darling, I'm so sorry for what happened. But I just actually, I'll let my baby brother come home because it's just 5 of us left. We were 13. Now all of them died off, and I'd like to see him home with us right now. And he do have a home sitting there waiting for him because we got it waiting and prepared for him. So please, I hope y'all have a heart to let him come home. And I thank y'all so much for this time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Appreciate your input. So which of the guests at penitentiary would like to speak on Mr. Harrison's behalf?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Stuart Freeman. Again, I had the blessed opportunity to get to know Mr. Harrison over 10 years ago. I too, like Mr. Leroy, made mistakes in my life. And this same honorable board give me an opportunity to come home and be a blessing to my community. Mr. Leroy, I looked up to him as a big brother in prison. And he moved out of the dorm to go serve other inmates in 3 Lower and help the chronic inmates. He's always had a heart toward the men here. And that meant a lot to me to see this man have a heart toward other men. Not many men here in this prison have a heart that way. And I was truly drawn to him because of that. And again, I just pray that this board will give him the opportunity to come home and be a blessing to his family as he's been to the men here at Angola. Thank you, Your Honor.
I appreciate that. All right, Mr. Harrison, is there a statement? I'm sorry, I have to hear from, I'm sorry, Ms. Victoria Sharbois. We'd like to hear from you at this time.
Good morning. How's everyone? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm flabbergasted. I heard a lot. I appreciate Mr. Harrison admitting guilt. I think everyone can change. I just don't think everybody understands that the trauma that it has caused. We can take this up with God, or we can have a decision. I really don't have a decision because everybody said the truth. It drew a wedge, and I was 8 when this happened. So to hear everybody's opinion has really touched my heart because it's the truth. It drew a wedge between a family, and guess who suffered the most? It was a mama. It was us children. Because at the end of the day, I also dated a family member in this family. And sitting back looking today as a grown woman, this messed up everything. Because as a child standing up telling y'all, listen to everybody, it drew a wedge between our families. And us children paid for something we had nothing to do with.
Amen.
So at the end of it, everybody is allowed a second chance. Everybody right about that. But is everybody really looking at the facts of everything that went on? Because at the end of the day, I don't know what to say. I watch my mama. I know that there were times that we were approached by certain people and asked to take back what was done. It touched me to hear him admit what he did, but it touched me that we suffered, the children. My brother is married to one of these family members' children. That was a strain. I watched it, all of it. But at the end of the day, I forgive him. But I realized this many years later, I was a victim as well, and nobody see that. So at the end of the day, I accept his apology. I'm sorry for what happened because I didn't know nothing about it. I'm learning, still learning of how close we was as a family. And that's what rips us apart because some of us close and some of us not. But look who's missing out. I can't make a decision either way. I love my mama. I love myself. I love everybody in the situation. But it is what it is. Has he been reformed? I don't know. I don't know him. I never met him since I was 8. I wish the best of luck, but I'm a victim as well. Because when I look back on everything, it was painful. I don't know what to say. But thank you for listening, and I appreciate being able to join in.
Yes, ma'am. We do appreciate you joining in and hearing the remarks. Thank you so much for joining us. So, Mr. Harrison, now is your opportunity. If there's something you'd like to say, special remarks to the board.
Say in closing.
In closing, I pray that the board consider my apology. I'm sorry for what I've done to Ms. Brannon. I'm sorry for the pain and suffering I caused in my community for the crime that I committed. I'm just asking that the board see fit to give me a second chance to become a law-abiding citizen and try to correct some of the wrongs I've done in my past. And I'm truly, truly sorry for the harm I caused you and your mother. Truly sorry. You know, I was young, hard-headed, and I made a bad decision in my life. And I just hope that I get a second chance to do better, to go forward and do better. And I thank the board for this opportunity to give me a chance to speak on this because it has haunted me for a long, long time. And I'm very, very sorry for what I've done. Thank you.
I think we're prepared to vote. Mr. Freeman will be back first.
Okay, Mr. Harrison. No, you've taken responsibility for this charge, but I mean, you were indicted by a grand jury on Deborah Peak, and you claim you never know and had nothing to do with it, and yet you were indicted by a grand jury. They just chose not to prosecute you because they found you guilty on this. So, in my mind, you're not taking full responsibility, and my vote is to deny.
Mr. Rush.
Madam Chairman, basically express opposition to the victim's family, the DA's office, law enforcement, and the nature of the offense. My vote is to deny Mr. Harrison's request.
Mr. Mirabella.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I agree with my colleagues. My vote likewise would be to deny.
All right, Mr. Harrison, we've received 3 votes to deny. I do agree with my colleagues based on the opposition that's been expressed in the record by law enforcement and others. My vote today also is to deny your application for clemency. I do want to thank everyone who's joined us today. Today, Mr. Harrison, your application has been denied.